Hey, mommies. So I'm just coming back from church, right? And I'm gonna be honest, I ain't been in church in months. I've been still reading my Bible. I've been still, having time with God, but I haven't been in church. And I just felt the need to go to church today. So I went, right? And today he preached on Acts chapter 16, right? And in Acts chapter 16, Paul and Silas, I believe, go to Philippi, and they're preaching, and they cast the demon out, the lady who's following them around, talking about these men are men of God, and they get thrown in jail because they mess up the fortune teller's master's money, and that's the whole thing. And then they get miraculously released from jail, all the chains break off, shackles break off, everything, right? And he preached on Paul's perspective and how, even though Paul was jailed and everything, he still worshiped God through it all and all that, right? But the part that stuck out to me that I highlighted was when the jailer woke up from his nap and he saw that all the prisoners were released. And he's like, oh my God, like, how do I get saved? Because he was shook, right? Because he never seen anything like it. And Paul was like, as long as you believe, you and everybody in your household is saved. Boop, highlighted that right there, right? Because God has been showing me evidence of this. When I say every day. So I'm going to get a little story time. When I was pregnant with my firstborn, I was pregnant with her, and I took a long time in silence, and I just prayed over her while she was still in my belly. I prayed a lot of things over her, right? I'm not gonna say, but God shows me almost daily that he heard my prayers through her, that I prayed over her. He shows me his faithfulness over my children because of my belief every day. It literally gives me goosebumps. And it's one of those things where, like, nobody else would know, because nobody knows what my prayers were but me and God. And he has these checkpoints where he's like, I heard you, boop. I heard you, here you go, boop. And he does that all the time. And it's like, it shakes me. And I've noticed that because of my faith and my prayers and the time that I spend with God, my marriage has transformed. Even before we got married, like, my relationship was transformed. And to see that even when I pray over people who aren't believers who are in my family, to see that they're getting blessed too. And it's not even to say that it's because of me either. But God does show me that when I do pray for things, he does make it known when my prayers are answered. And it's almost like, I hear you. Stay close. You know what I mean? It's so hard to explain. But to see the beauty in the Bible and the graciousness that God has to show us that our faith affects the people closest to us. You have no idea who you're affecting or how you're affecting them by just having faith and having a relationship with God. And that honestly makes me want to be closer to him, knowing that my faith affects the people that I love the most. My faith affects my children. You know what's so crazy? So I was talking to my mom about how I prayed over my baby when I was pregnant with her. I prayed over both of them when I was pregnant with them, but I see the fruits of it most in my oldest baby because she interacts with the world more and things like that. And my youngest is still like a baby. She can't walk yet. I'm still like carrying her around and stuff. But I was talking to my mom about one of the ways that God blessed my baby and pointed to me like, I hear you, right? Stay close. And I was like, I just pray that, you know, my prayers over my children stick with them and carry on to their children and their children's children. Because you hear about grandma's prayers, you know, still blessing you even after grandma's dead and gone. I ain't nowhere near being a grandma. But when I do have grandbabies, I'm praying that my prayers stick through them. You know, stick through my babies and go and transfer like through bloodlines, just how generational curses are like a thing. I pray that my generational blessings flow through my babies, right? And the next day, I'm reading the Bible. Oh, I wish I could remember the exact like location of the scripture, but it said something like, I curse the bloodline of unbelievers, and generations will be blessed from those who have faith in me or who are obedient or something. Oh, no, generations will be blessed from those who love me. That's what it was. And that confirmation, literally the next day after I had that conversation with my mom, like, God is so good. And like, there's times where I'm reading the Bible, right? And I'm reading like Leviticus. And it's like, here are the animals that you can't eat. And when I say I eat all the animals, like I just had bacon yesterday. And I'm like, Lord, like I start to feel guilty, like, oh my God. But then I'm reminded daily that I was made right when Jesus died on the cross. And I'm not here to preach. I say that every video, but I start to preach every video. I'm not a preacher. I'm just somebody who's seeing the fruits of God in my life every day. And I just want to share. And that's what we're called to do as Christians, is just share. Sure, we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the words of our testimony. And I'm just here sharing my testimony so we can overcome. But just to see God's faithfulness, even when I know I'm supposed to be doing something and I'm not doing it, and He's still blessing me anyway, providing for me anyway, loving on me anyway, sticking near me anyway. Nobody does that. If you turn your back on somebody, like a human being in the world, if you turn your back on them, chances are, after so long, they're going to just let you stay with your back turned. They're going to leave you alone. There was a time, I have another video where like I even go into detail about this, but there was a time where I completely turned my back on God and completely told everybody, I don't believe in God. Like, Christianity is the white man's religion. Sorry, but that's what I said. Christianity is the white man's religion. It was made to oppress us. Like, I was one of them. And when God opened my eyes and showed me and continued to show me and pour His love into my life, despite me turning my back on Him, He never let me stray far enough away to where I was too far gone for Him to pull me back. Like, I don't even know if I'm making sense, y'all. But today's word, I got something totally different out of today's word than he was even preaching about. And I just had to come on and share. So, mommies, just know that your faith, even the mustard seed of faith that the Bible talks about, the little bit of faith, let me just try and see what happens. The little bit of faith that you have can literally transform your entire household. We're going through a season right now in my household, just to be completely transparent, where we are not as financially well off as we once were, right? Now our finances are growing and rebuilding, But we've had to start completely over from negative bank account, right? But I'm grateful that I came back to God in the season before us going through this, because if I didn't, my mind would be, my anxiety, like all that would be completely just gone. When the Bible says that God gives you peace that surpasses all understanding, I'm living in what that feels like. Because we are going through a season right now where, like I said, we're not as financially well off as we once were. But the level of peace that I have, because we literally have enough. We're not lacking anything. We eat all our meals a day. Do we have a surplus? No. Do we have extra? No. There was a time where we did, but right now we're in a season where we don't. And the peace that I feel when God comes through, when I don't have enough money for something, and I'm like, where's this money gonna come from? I literally, 2 weeks ago, I didn't have enough money to pay for daycare for my children, and I had to go to work. It was Sunday. Daycare tuition is due on Monday, right? And this is being completely transparent. I don't know y'all don't know me, but it's just my testimony. 2 weeks ago, it was Sunday night. I didn't have enough money for daycare. I get USPS emails where they send you like pictures of the mail that's coming to your mailbox or whatever. And so a couple days ago, I don't check my mail every day. I know I should, but I don't. A couple days before that, I had saw that like I got like a postcard in the mail, right? But I never checked my mail because it was like Christmas time, and I was like, okay, whatever. So the Sunday night, right, I'm coming in the house, and I just decide to check the mail. I know I don't have daycare for the next day. I wasn't gonna tell my husband. I was just gonna like figure it out, right? I don't know what I was gonna do, but daycare is due the next day. Check the mail. Mind you, let me give you the exact amount. I was short $60, right? Now, my plan was, if I didn't have enough money for daycare, then I was going to ask my husband for the money, right? But he's already paying all the bills, and we have literally just enough. So I didn't want to ask him for the $60 because I didn't know, what was going to have to be moved around to do that, right? Boom. I check the mail. I'm opening the mail. I come to the postcard. There's $75 in the postcard to cover the daycare. Just enough. Just enough. Now, this season of just enough, I feel is God showing me and my household how to depend on him as we go into this next season of our lives. Because in the seasons where we had more than enough, it was all in our own strength. We were hustle, get it. We didn't have a relationship with God. My husband called himself a believer. I didn't. That was the time when I didn't. But we was just out here hustling, getting it before kids, whatever. Now we're being pruned and we're being refined. And God is showing us what dependency on him looks like. And it's scary, and it requires all the faith, but the faith that it builds in him, I could not pay for. Because the way that he comes through in the final quarter every time and lets you know this was me. So you can't put it on nobody else. You can't put it on, oh, I hustled to get this. No. It was God. And he lets you know this was me. And it's beautiful. It feels safe. It feels secure. and it feels like I don't have to do anything other than what he asked me to do. What I can relate it to is, and I've said this before in another video, but this is what it feels like. You know when you with your man and y'all are going out, right? And you're like walking hand in hand, and your man is just up here being a man with his little swag walk, you know, leading the way. And you don't have to worry about anything because your man is right there. You don't halfway even have to think because your man is here. You don't have to pay for nothing because your man is here. You don't have to open your door because your man is here. That's what going through life with God feels like. My man is here. He's not my man, he's my father, but you know, you get it. You get what I'm trying to say. The security in that. That's what going through this life with God feels like. And I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful that he came back for me, because baby, I was out here lost and leading other people to be lost. So anyway, that's all. I just had to, my lips ashy, everything. I'm just here talking with ashy lips. I'm sorry, but I just had to get that out of here, out of my brain and into YouTube. So thank you for listening, mommies. I'm gonna talk to y'all later.